Good evening, my friends. I must apologize. I was in my calendar tonight, and there it was, yet again, in my iPhone. A reminder of the most audacious and disgusting holiday on the calendar is to visit us this Saturday, April 12th. And it likely slipped my mind because I do not make merry myself of this holiday, but millions around the world do. And so I chose to do a night reading tonight out of our Bible of Passover. Passover is April 12th, and so let's read about this holiday like none other that my iPhone, by default, reminds me of, and most calendars around the world come printed with. So, Passover, Exodus 12. Lovely story. I'm in the New Living Translation, paraphrased. While the Israelites were still in the land of Egypt, the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, of course he did, and said, Announce to the community of Israel that each family must choose a lamb for a sacrifice, one animal for each household. Then the community of Israel must slaughter their lamb at twilight. They are to take some of the blood and smear it on the sides and top of the door frames of their houses. On that night I will pass through the land of Egypt and strike down every firstborn son and firstborn male animal in the land of Egypt. Let me remind you, there are people who actually believe this happened. Hence why they celebrate it. Or they like to say, remember it. I will execute judgment against all the gods of Egypt, for I am the Lord. But the blood on your doorpost will serve as a sign marking the houses where you are staying. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. Pass over. How clever. This plague of death will not touch you when I strike the land of Egypt. This is a day to remember. Each year, from generation to generation, you must celebrate it as a special festival to the Lord. This is a law for all time. Most of those other laws that you don't like, you can just kind of wipe those out, and many in the year 2025 will say, well, that's the Old Testament, but this one I want you to keep. For 7 days the bread you eat must be made without yeast. Anyone who eats bread made with yeast during that 7 days of the festival will be cut off from the community of Israel. Celebrate this festival of unleavened bread as a permanent law, for it will remind you that I brought you out of the land of Egypt. The bread must be made without yeast from the evening of the 14th day of the first month until the evening of the 21st day of that month. During those 7 days, there must be no trace of yeast in your homes. Anyone who eats anything made with yeast during this week will be cut off from the community of Israel. During those days, you must not eat anything made with yeast. Then Moses said to them, Go, pick out a lamb for each of your families and slaughter the Passover animal. Drain the blood into a basin, then take a bundle of hyssop branches and dip it into the blood. Brush the hyssop across the top and sides of the door frames of your houses, and no one may go out through the door until morning, for the Lord will pass through the land to strike down the Egyptians. But when he sees the blood on the top and sides of the door frame, the Lord will pass over your home. He will not permit his death angel, or the KJV puts it, the destroyer, to enter your house and strike you down. These instructions are a permanent law that you and your descendants must observe forever. When your children ask, What does this ceremony mean, Daddy? You will reply, It is the Passover sacrifice to the Lord, for he passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt, and though he struck the Egyptians, he spared our families. Wonderful story, child. So the people of Israel did as the Lord had commanded. That night at midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn sons in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn son of Pharaoh, who sat on his throne, to the firstborn son of the prisoner in the dungeon. Even the firstborn of their livestock were killed. Good job, Yahweh. Loud wailing was heard throughout the land of Egypt. There was not a single house where someone had not died. Pharaoh sent for Moses and Aaron during the night. Get out, he ordered, leave my people and take the rest of the Israelites with you. The Lord caused the Egyptians to look favorably on the Israelites, and they gave the Israelites whatever they asked for, so they stripped the Egyptians of their wealth. On this night, the Lord kept his promise, so it must be commemorated every year by the Israelites, from generation to generation. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, of course he did, These are the instructions for the festival of Passover. No outsiders are allowed to eat the Passover meal. No uncircumcised male may eat the Passover meal. If there are foreign among you who want to celebrate the Lord's Passover, let all their males be circumcised. Must be an amazing celebration to want to be circumcised in order to partake. I, along with most of the world stand in solidarity in memorializing the millions of Jews from the Holocaust and the countless millions of all who lost their lives at the hand of a genocidal warlord less than only a century ago. The unspeakably horrific massacring of innocent men, women, and children will forever remain etched on the core of Earth's crust as one of the greatest atrocities known to mankind. Oddly enough, one of the most important Jewish holidays celebrates a Holocaust that far predates that of World War II. Every year, both religious and cultural Jews from around the world unite for a week of lavish meals and rituals and shameless observance of Passover, the midnight murder of every Egyptian firstborn son, compliments of the Destroyer, or the Angel of Death, better known as God or Yahweh. This short body of facts alone should be enough for anyone to stamp this holiday as astronomically absurd, categorically obscene, and completely reprehensible, yet somehow it remains a sacred observance. For the Jews, I suppose it's easier to celebrate when God passed over the house of their people and murdered someone else's child rather than their own, though comparably, I don't think they nor the world would find it kosher if the Germans declared an annual week-long celebration honoring the slaughter of countless Jewish children in World War II. On that note, we of the world have failed the Egyptians. In the very face of such an audacious Jewish holiday, we have yet to institute the annual Feast of Overkill, a time when we solemnly remember this Holocaust of the Egyptian firstborn. For Egypt, it must be a strange time of year to find a nearby nation and its kin around the world reverently celebrating the execution of your ancestors' firstborn sons. Though exceedingly brazen, the Egyptians likely, and accurately, chalk it up as another wildly ridiculous myth. Let's review some key points regarding this holiday like none other. After all, what other large-scale annual celebration honors the mass murder of children? God's hardened Pharaoh's heart trick leads us to this 10th and final plague of Egypt. God commands that each family slaughter an animal and smear their doorframes with its blood. Lovely. God then kills every firstborn son in Egypt and passes over the homes with the smeared blood. Great. God's efficiency is unrivaled. In verse 30, there was not a single house where someone had not died. God declares the perpetual celebration of this event as a law for all time. God declares that if anyone wants to celebrate the Passover, they must be circumcised. God's severely stymied omniscience is concerning. Apparently, he wouldn't know what houses his chosen people were in, so he needed the blood of their slaughtered animals as a sign that he may pass over their home. God's severely stymied omnipotence is alarming, yet unsurprising, as the insatiably bloodthirsty nature of God prefers the more unsanitary hands-on approach versus a more pragmatic purging. Therefore, we can rest assured the ensuing midnight raid and the murdering of not only the firstborn sons, but also the firstborn animals, was one of an extreme bloodbath. But fret not, rejoice. In verse 36, his omnipotence has been restored as he's caused the Egyptians to look favorably on the Israelites. Cool, great timing, God. What a lovely holiday that's on its way this 12th of April, this coming Saturday. Wow. Thanks for viewing, and I will see you next time. Much love to all of you. See ya.